there, but it's conditions permitting, so they do have some other areas offshore of the cathedrals and a few other areas along there if that one's not available. But the way it looked today, I think you'll be in good shape for that one. As we come across the shoreline here, you'll see some flooded farm fields down low to our left, couple down low to the right. Those are taro fields. Taro is a root vegetable, kind of like a potato, but it's purple. And it's farmed in a similar fashion as rice and flooded paddies. So you tend to find it on the north and northeast sides of the island where we get the abundant rainfall needed for that farming process. That's what Hawaiians make poi out of. Very traditional food here, made from pounding the root of the plant into kind of a purplish paste. And taro, or kalo as it's known in Hawaiian, we tend to hear the Tahitian name taro spoken more frequently. It's been grown here since man first set foot upon these islands, estimated around 200 AD. So it does have a very strong cultural significance to the people who live here. It's the original canoe plant. A canoe plant is a non-native plant that was brought over by the early settlers on their canoes. There were two waves of settlers. The original wave was the Marquesans between 200 and 600 AD, and the second major wave was the Tahitians about 12 to 1300 AD.
Okay, so what's poi taste like?
I will say I'm told it's an acquired taste. I don't vouch for that yet because I haven't acquired it. Definitely try it. It is it was the original staple or starch that their staple starch, I guess, that they have been eaten since the Marquesans were here, and it still is to this day. It is very bland. If you were to take a potato with no seasoning and just mash it up with water, you'd have a similar sort of product. The reason for that is a long time ago, the Hawaiians didn't have refrigeration and they had to preserve all their foods. That means a lot of the traditional dishes are very salty for that preservation process, such as the kalua pork and the lomi lomi salmon. So they would mix it with that poi as a sauce to tone down that saltiness.
So kind of like grits.
It's a lot like grits. If you didn't grow up on it, you're just not going to appreciate it. Although I flew oil rigs in the Gulf of Mexico for 6 years, and there was a barge captain down there that made grits that were out of this world. So even with my Ohio palate, I love grits now. Gotta find somebody that can make poi that way. I mean, I'll be in good shape. Straight ahead of you, you'll see a tall, skinny waterfall. We're gonna make some turns here and bring her out both sides. That's the Namalokama Falls. Namalokama stands 2,400 feet tall, making her the tallest waterfall on Kauai. Most waterfalls on Kauai are rain-fed, including this one. It gets its rain from drainage from the upper elevations where it rains nearly every day. We do have a couple spring-fed, but they are few and far between. Okay, we're going to pop over the saddle into Hanalei Valley on the other side. You'll see the Hanalei River at the bottom of the valley. It flows from near the center of the island where we're heading all the way north to Hanalei Bay. This valley is an excellent representation of what most of the interior of the island looks like. Just all lush, undeveloped rainforest, no roads. Really no good way to get here except by helicopter, and that's the case with about 70% of the island.
Shoot an apple off my head and a
You'll see lighter colored trees sprinkled down in the bottom of the valley below us. They stand out a bit from the others. Those are kukui trees. That's where we get the kukui nut from that's woven into leis. Actually, it looks just like a Hawaiian buckeye. It's also known as the candle nut. You can light it and it stays lit for about 20 minutes. So the ancient Hawaiians would harvest oil from this nut. They'd use it for torches and also to seal koa wood on their voyaging canoes. Up at the end of the valley, the land climbs up and touches the clouds. You're looking right up at the north side of our volcano, Mount Waialeale. She sits under an almost perpetual cloud layer because that's where we get 450 inches of rain per year. That mountain used to be about 9,000 feet tall, but due to erosion, she's been shrinking for the last 500,000 years. We now top out at 5,243 feet above sea level. We're going to leave the valley and we'll come around and visit the mountain from the east side. I can give you a better view from that angle. Up ahead of us at the back of the valley, on the rock wall, you'll see a white marking. Looks like somebody painted a big white eye there. It's actually a natural lime deposit. In Jurassic World, there was a scene where the helicopter lifted off to go chase down Indominus Rex. Right before he runs into all the pterodactyls, he flies past that eye. So that whole chase scene was filmed right below us here in the south end of Hanalei Valley. Over the ridge line ahead of us, you're looking out at the Lahui Basin. This low-lying area was formed in the later part of the volcanic life cycle, known as the post-shield phase. At that point in time, most of the island's mass had been built up through eruptions, but it built up so quickly parts of the island became a bit unstable. This east side ended up kind of collapsing down in on itself, forming the basin. In the last major eruption of our volcano, estimated around 500,000 years ago, the east wall of our volcano blew open. Lava spilled out into the plains. We're going to hop over this next ridgeline, hang a right turn, and enter the volcano through where that east wall used to be. Have a look around from the inside. You can see that V-shaped opening ahead. Beyond that, we will be inside the volcano. Welcome to Waialeale.